Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel Di Lorenzo.
Wait, what did you say?
Dana Di Lorenzo.
Have a good one.
You guys better subscribe and watch my friend on his YouTube channel. He is kicking ass.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another weekly review of Wynonna Earp on Syfy, which is episode 10 of season 3, called The Other Woman. So yeah, in continuing my push for more Wynonna Earp videos on this channel, here I am, at least for this week, keeping my promise of reviewing the show week to week. Once again, I apologize for being so inconsistent with it again this season, but from this point on going forward, from last week's point going forward, I plan on really trying my best to review it as frequently as I possibly can, because Wynonna Earp has a lot to offer, and I think it's worth covering week to week. It's just a really crowd-pleasing fandom and a crowd-pleasing show, in a few different ways. From its increased, surprisingly effectiveness in its characterization and a little more detailed storytelling. I think season 3 it's best so far. And I only wish I would have given it more credit where credit's due earlier on. But here I am now. Let's move forward. So this episode, 310, The Other Woman, I don't know if I liked it quite as much as last week's episode, which was Undo It. But that was a really kind of emotionally driven episode with Wynonna and Doc and everything like that. So this is kind of a little bit more of a stepping stone type of episode, going into our final 2 episodes of the season. So they're different, if anything, like last week's episode could have been like a mid-season finale caliber episode, but luckily Wynonna Earp doesn't have big breaks like that. So this one's kind of the fallout of that, and again, our bridge to our final 2 episodes of the season. So this is still fine, don't get me wrong. A personal highlight of it was probably, Nicole being possessed by that fire witch, which I thought was pretty entertaining. Catherine Barrell, she's a really nice actress. It was just kind of a lot of fun to see her, just laughing and giggling and sort of just like waddling all over the place, really. And, throwing these random tantrums like a teenager, as, Dot kept saying. But, of course, this witch had a history with Doc as well, so that was interesting to go into a little bit. Something that was a little bit suggestive, she at one point refers to Doc as Wyatt's boyfriend. That could have been a joke, but then him and Nicole kind of give each other a look, and he's not really wanting to go into it. So at some point, are they going to say him and Wyatt Earp were connected like that, too? I feel like that would be a bit forced at this point, but we'll see where that goes. Either way, it's kind of funny, I guess. So yeah, that was fun. I wasn't worried about Nicole here because they've nearly made her main staple. They've made her a main staple of the show at this point, but still, of course, the witch trying to put Doc in an awful position of feeding on her in order to gain what she knows and everything like that. Doc actually manages to hold out, which is nice. But then he ends up killing I think the guy's name is Charlie. I know I forgot his name last week as well. I've seen him on a couple other little shows here and there. But he ends up feeding on Charlie at the end. And, you know, I think it's true that, like Doc was saying, we don't understand the hunger. You know, I think there's I think even Wynonna and others would sort of, you know, lose it at some point. I mean, I think Wynonna would be strong enough not to feed on Waverly or something like that, but, you know, there would be a point where they'd have to give in a little bit. But at the same time, we see that this is affecting Doc. He seems to be a little bit more, he's kind of growing into the role a little bit too much, perhaps, because we see him smirking after Nicole, you know, sends him away. Maybe he's starting to relish this power or what he is a little bit more, which isn't good. Also, Anna Silk was in this episode. A lot of you may know her as the lead from another sci-fi show that ended a few years ago called Lost Girl, which is a show I watched a few episodes of. You know, I did kind of like what I saw. I haven't watched it in a while though. But this show is ran, you know, of course, by Emily Andress, you know, who you know, is the showrunner and developer of that as well. So it's good to see her brought into this as sort of a, you know, kind of exposition or, you know, information giver for Waverly and Wynonna, but it is still good to see her. First I was like, is that her? No, it's not, because I don't see it on her IMDb. Well, wait, come on, that's gotta be her. So I just searched Anna Silk, Wynonna Earp, and yeah, seeing that she was guest starring, which I hadn't seen before. We also see Wynonna and Waverly tangling with this radioactive, I almost said deadite, but you know, radioactive revenant that has you know, portion of you know, Wilshire's arm or whatever. And that was kind of fun as well, you know, because Wynonna is without Peacemaker, so seeing them trying to deal with that, you know, it's a little more hilarious. But yeah, this was a fine episode. And as far as Charlie's death, I feel like he could be brought back by Wilshire or something as a tool against Wynonna. But either way, I think he's pretty much dead at this point, which I honestly don't have a problem with, because I felt like we all know it's not going to be Wynonna and Charlie in the end. We know we're going to get back to Wynonna and Doc at some point. So he always felt like a barrier just to sort of drag it on for some reason. So I don't mind that element being killed off again. Although this obviously means that Wynonna and Doc are going to have problems again, which I think, again, as I said last week, is kind of repetitive at this point. But still an enjoyable episode. I'm giving it about an 8.4 out of 10. You guys can let me know what you thought about this one. You can certainly discuss it more in the comments below if you want, which you probably won't. But maybe you'll comment for Wynonna Earp, not me. So yeah. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.